Hey Scorpio, happy Sagittarius season. How we doing? Great, huh? It's been wild out there, man. I'm telling you, like doing all these readings here, and I'm so sorry that you're the last one, but Scorpio, I will love you forever. You're one of my most favorite. You also terrify the shit out of me. And I say that with someone whose most of 7th house is comprised of Scorpio. So yeah, I'm also extremely drawn to it. It's wild. But this might be more potentially comfortable for you to access because you are a sign that is not only comfortable in the dark, but can thrive there. And this is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. If this doesn't resonate, go ahead and check out all those other signs. You know, each of those individual signs, because you might, and if you do, will you please let me know, because this would be interesting for me to like understand. I'm very interested in it. If you have a Scorpio Sun, Moon, Ascendant, and Venus, all 4, that's wild, and I'd like to know about it. And then also, especially if this doesn't resonate, like, well, I guess it just wasn't your Scorpio of all Scorpios. So, with that said, what can we expect for Sagittarius season? As we're wrapping up 2019 and starting a whole new decade that will be sort of a whole new playing field in terms of using what the past few years have taught us, because we're going into an election year. It is going to be toxic as fuck in terms of the ads that are slung around, how the game is going to be played. It's going to require all of us to be super present with our divinity, in that we understand that something is being divinely orchestrated right now. And we can't always understand that orchestration while we're right in the middle of it, right? Because if you're in a symphony and you're taking a nap and you wake up during like, I don't know, like a big drum cymbal, that's all you hear, and that's like gonna put you kind of in a little bit of a state of shock, and you're not really gonna understand. And so that's sort of been the entire shared experience in terms of kind of the mass collective awakenings that are happening right now. It's like all of a sudden fucking cymbals, and you don't understand that, like, oh no, this is just like the crescendo of a symphony that's going for like 2,000 years. And so it looks really fucking bleak and terrifying and terrible out there. But Beethoven's got this. Like, he's down to fuck shit up. You're going to be fine. It's all going to be fine. It's all going to be beautifully fine. And you know, just allowing yourself to really look at what is coming up for you, and to tap into and remember what you have learned throughout your whole entire life, because Scorpio, you feel things very intensely, and you are incredibly intuitive. Incredibly intuitive. And the thing that us intuitive people have to be careful of, particularly when we are in intense energy, where we are kind of getting egoic pushes and the need to control and hypermanage and go really inward, and tighten instead of release, it can bring up projections where we are not necessarily seeing things as we are. We're seeing them as a reflection of how we are. And I mean, that's true in like every single moment, but particularly when we are kind of being, when we are clearing so much, it's just very important to remember, I can only control me, period, end of story. I'm just gonna, am I good? Am I good? Can I go to sleep at night? Do I know that I did my absolute fucking best today? Yeah, all right, cool. I'm not gonna sleep without a fucking problem. Without a fucking problem. And that can be kind of challenging for Scorpio. Because, and speaking as someone whose Pluto is in Scorpio, we like to control a lot. Because we are so intuitive, because we can kind of see the flow of energetic channels, we have to remember that we're seeing them through our lens, through our perspective, and allowing them to kind of come to us in terms of letting them explain to us while we're here, why they're here and what's going on. So it's interesting. I'm starting to get tongue-tied. This also happened for, is that Pisces, where I got really tongue-tied, like my throat started to go. There might be something you're considering communicating. Communication is always good. We have this Sagittarius new moon happening right now. And that is, Sagittarius is all about the burning bright torch of truth, right? Because you've got your archer shooting his arrow at the truth. Sagittarius is the sign who always seeks the truth. It is his hero's journey to get there. He does not always get there. And remember, because the truth is ever changing and evolving, and what was true 5 minutes ago might not be the same truth for you right now. And understanding that nothing exists in a vacuum, and we can't consider one teeny tiny aspect without considering the whole, because we are all of our moving parts. All of our moving parts. So, what's especially interesting for you, Scorpio, are the two cards that flew out already. The Five of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. These two being side by side. Interesting because it's the natural progression. It's about being out in the cold, being a Dickensian street urchin. And then those two Dickensian street urchins going inside and meeting a nice benefactor who puts money in their wallet and food in their belly and helps them. And so it's kind of feeling, I'm getting a few things happening here. One, wanting to help people and not having enough to help them with. Two, trying to get to this energy of the Four of Pentacles, where you have a reprieve from the cold, from the lack, from feeling unloved and uncared and unwanted, or just not having enough. That Pentacles, or lack thereof right now, are heavily on your mind right now. So let's go into this more. Kind of where are we lacking? Okay, this one flew. Page of Cups. We're lacking in our emotional body. We're lacking in kind of owning up to emotional journeys that we want to take, emotional messages that we want to convey. Homeboy here is talking to this fish, right? The fish isn't the one he's supposed to be talking to. The fish ain't gonna pass along that message. The fish is just like, cool, giant man holding me in a container. I'm having a great time, but the water's back there. Like, I could go home and you could just like go do this thing, because clearly you want to talk to someone about it. It's probably not me. Go take that drink to the person you're trying to talk to. That's the Page of Cups. And so feeling separate from, or cut off from, or left out in the cold between who this person might be, what this message might be, what this love might be. Let's go into that a little bit more, Scorpio. What about this Five of Pentacles? Okay. Out jumped the Six of Swords. And so what I'm getting with this, and then also it didn't jump, but this is how the deck landed in my hand. I don't know if you can tell that, but look what's peeking at us, the Ten of Cups. I'm just gonna split that and leave that here. This is a cycle, and it's a cycle that doesn't feel necessarily self-serving, in that you keep going back to this place thinking the scales are going to balance. I'm going to have nourishment. I'm going to be fed. I'm going to be clothed. I'm going to feel safe. And sometimes that happens, but sometimes it doesn't, or else we wouldn't have Six of Swords here. Or alternatively, staying somewhere where you don't want to be because of the financial resources, where you're not moving away to clearer or cleaner water, where you're not moving in a direction that you know that you would be better served because you're so focused on waiting for these scales to balance. Meanwhile, with this other person's, it's so interesting because this feels really like split down the middle. With what's happening here, it's like, I know the love is there. I know I have this message. I know what I want, but I feel so alone, so abandoned, so lost, so scared that, fuck it, I'm just gonna talk to this fish because at least he fucking talks to me, right? Like, but the thing about this is a church window. I think you can go into churches all of the time. I don't know for sure. I don't know if like churches are just open. Like in movies they are. You can just like walk into a sanctuary and have a moment. But whatever is always open for you in terms of a place to seek refuge, is it that person? There's fear of going to this person. There's fear of having this conversation because you're walking away. You're walking to where you feel things are more reciprocal. But then you'll get to where things are more reciprocal and you won't be happy and you'll want to go back to the Page of Cups, and then the cycle keeps continuing, is what I'm seeing here. How can we break the cycle? I'm going to take this because at the bottom of the deck, Ace of Swords. We can break the cycle by speaking our truth. We can break the cycle by owning our truth. We can really take all of the gifts that we're being offered, all of the things that we have learned, and use kind of this fiery sword from heaven to slice away the bullshit, to slice away the shit that doesn't matter, to really get down to the nitty-gritty. Go into this Ace of Swords more, please, Spirit. It's too many, but thank you. An aspect of the truth, it sure looks like, that you're not trusting the divine, you're impatient, you're wanting it now, and now that you're kind of out in the territory, you're like, oh fuck, did I really want to be here? Like, I'm fucking in it. I'm in it. Now I gotta figure out what to do. Now I know that there is further to go. I feel like Spirit talks to you really loudly. Really, really loudly, and it's I mean Scorpio, obviously. But the thing about the truth, especially when it's something that Spirit can confirm, you know, through synchronicities, however they might show themselves for you, in what manner, you know, that could be songs on the radio, that could be repeating numbers, that could be clouds in the sky, that could be smelling a particular smell that reminds you of a particular person, that could be like I smell my grandparents' house when my grandpa's around, and that's just because it's a very, like, you know, this is the strongest sense tied to memory, and that is oftentimes, very, very frequently, how our loved ones can communicate with us. the thing about you, Scorpio, is that you're skilled at the truth because you are someone who can see in the dark, right? And you have the ability, I mean, but truth is also a responsibility, right? Because now that you've got it, now that you're clear, what are you going to do? And it's really what it's looking like is there's this whole dance laid out around this sword of truth, where everyone is on the same page, where shared motives are clear, where you are showing up for yourself in an empowered, enlightened way, in a way that you never have before. And that is how we break the cycle. And especially how we break the cycle is we realize all things in divine timing, right? If we're not trusting the divine, we're perpetually impatient. Especially if we've got a lot of like Aries or Taurus in our chart. Or any other sign. I mean, Leo probably too, Sagittarius definitely. But you, Scorpio, patience is the name of your game, because what are you represented by? A Scorpio. Or Scorpion. A Scorpion. You put them in a dark hole, they won't move for days. They know how to conserve their energy. They know how to wait for the right time to strike. They know the importance of divine timing. They know the importance of waiting till the right moment. Do not be afraid to trust the signs and synchronicities that are appearing for you. You're seeing your divine reflection in another. And what happens for us when we meet the type of person who allows us to kind of not only see our multidimensionality, but reflect back our multidimensionality and reflect back really beautiful soul wounds that we carry with us, that it can be a really intense, overwhelming, painful process. And the divine is stepping in to kind of rub balm on it right now and offer you refuge, offer you a rebalancing of the scales. But it requires really standing in your truth in a way I don't know if you have yet. Because truth is something that we have to work at, right? Because every day so much shit gets thrown on us that can cover it up, you know. Buy this, don't do that, do this, you're doing this wrong, da 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 da. All of sort of the different channels that come through us that keep us in this energy of want, right? I mean, that's the entire fucking concept of advertisements, right? This thing you didn't even know you existed, guess what? You can't fucking live without it. You gotta have it. And now because you don't have it, you're going to be hyper-focusing on what you don't have and what you don't have and what you don't have and want. Consume. And there is a place for consumption, and this little moon in Taurus bitch loves her shit. Loves her shit. I love shit. I love it. It's great. And there's no shame in loving the things that you love. It's just we can't let them define us, right? Where I do not have this thing, therefore I am not worthy. Or where I just, we can get so focused on the material world that we forget there are all of these other dimensions waiting for us to play with. So, with that said, Scorpio, let's see what these cards have to say, because they just slid out. Okay, so a few things might be happening here. This Sagittarius season has you really reflective on perhaps 3 women in your life. You like a brunette, a blonde, and a redhead. It might have you focusing on all of the fun that you don't get to have. It might have you focusing on really tough decisions to make. It might also have you sort of recusing yourself from others. You know, it looks like they might even be in the same environment. The ground kind of covers up, but this dude just wants to be all by himself. And so this feels like an invitation for Sagittarius season to come out of your head and be willing to celebrate and have fun and remember all of the love that you have in every moment. Remembering that this Five of Pentacles energy, is just that we have the ability to come in through the cold anytime that we want. And you certainly do, literally anytime you want, because it's tied into your truth. Are you owning your truth? Have you spoke your truth? And to whom? This especially feels like emotional truth because of kind of the blue and the water that we have. And then blue, of course, also being throat chakra. And truth is like a sword, you know, be careful how you wield it. There are nice ways to say true things and there are not nice ways to say true things. And remembering the power that you have because you are a divine being of the universe, even if you're too afraid to really trust it. And if you heard my stomach growl just then, I'm really sorry. It had a lot to say. It was doubling down on this message. Listen to the birds. Look at the birds. Let the birds show you. They're talking to you. Birds have ties to the angel realm. Feathers are always messages, gifts, clues that our loved ones are around. Let the divine water of your life flow. You are a water sign, Scorpio. But you're a water sign in the extreme. You can be ice. You can also boil. You can create steam. You're the only sign in the zodiac that can do both because of your intensity and because of the mutability of water. And all of the forms water can be in. You're also the only zodiac sign with a weapon. So you know the stinger of the scorpion is what I'm referencing there. Well, Sagittarius has a bow and arrow, I guess, but your weapon is part of you, not unlike your truth. How are you going to wield it? Speak love. Well, speak whatever you want, as long as it's your truth. You get to decide what that is. There's so much that you want to do in such a short period of time that by really getting clear with the universe, sitting with your truth, allowing the divine to show up for you, and then I was going to say communicating with the divine, but letting the universe know that you've heard it. And that's just an energetic thing, right? Where you just go, thank you. Thank you. Or even just allowing that information to integrate instead of like locking and pushing away. Because we will break these cycles by cutting away and pushing away anything that isn't our truth. And that is what Sagittarius season has in store for you, Scorpio. Thank you so much for being here. If you're interested in booking a personal reading with me, you can do so. Information for that is in the box down below. We're really going through some shit right now. Also, if this didn't resonate and you are a Scorpio, check your other signs. There's and other videos. Just go where you're led. You know, you're fucking Scorpio, dude. You know what's up. I'm really proud of you. I'm proud of all of us. This is like the right stuff in terms of a time to be alive, where the best and the brightest are here, and you are one of them. And people really look up to you. You have a great deal of power. All of us do. But whoever this reading is resonating for in particular, that there is a magnetic pull that you have, where you pull in all of these individual pieces that make a stronger whole. Whole, H-O-L, or W-H-O-L-E. I don't remember if I used the whole like a ship in this video or Cancer's video. Anyway, let me know how let me know how Sagittarius season goes, Scorpio. I'm very, very interested. I love you so much. So much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for seeking this shit out. Like I say, if you are interested in booking a personal reading with me, all the information to do that is in the box below. I'm so proud of you. I'm so fucking proud of you. Look at you go. Fucking doing it. All my love. I'll talk to you later.